All right. Here today, Dennis Anderson, driver and creator of Gravedigger Monster Truck, trying to look like Jesse Duke. I'm his #1 fan. He don't even know that, but taking some of my good friends here on a little behind-the-scenes tour. What used to be the Digger's Deep Woods Haunted Forest, and we'll probably kick this thing back open. I was hoping the boys would get a fire under their feet and help me out here, but I'll take you guys on a little tour. You got to check this out. This was awesome. It was run about 18 years ago. The Great Depression came through here about 8 years ago, ran everybody out of the woods. Things have tumbled down, but you know what? The economy's coming back around, so we're going to spruce it up, I think.
It's the graveyard?
This is the graveyard, man. Look at the graveyard of Digger chassis, monster trucks, carnage. We go down here to Snake Alley, buddy. We'll go back here. Used to be a moonshine, whiskey still back here. Cottonhouse Charlie's crazy boats. And we had the Peachtree Saloon. It was all kind of got abandoned when had the Great Depression rolled through here about 6 years ago. Economy got bad. Everybody moved up out of the woods. We went over and got some Obamacare. But stood in the soup line and got fed for free. They didn't have to work for a living anymore. That's where I used to do my haunted forest back here. I made all these trails back in the woods 20 years ago. Cypress Swamp back here. And it took me over a month and a half to build this little clean road right here, a bucket at a time, like a quarter of a yard a bucket at a time. I put all kinds of pallets down and tires down and matting. This was the old whiskey still here. My son fell to ruins, but you know, we're going to kick this place back open. We have a big haunted forest coming up. Haven't done it here. We haven't been back here in 18 years. So the trailer's going to turn right at the moonshine hut, and it's going through the cypress swamp, and it goes over onto a 50-acre woods back over on the other side called the Indian Land. And I'm building 16 different huts and scenes. Right here to the right was a little drawbridge. Had a winch that pulled this bridge up. It's rotted all out now, and this was an auxiliary trail. This is where all the Boogans people worked. So I'd have 3 people over here working the swamps, and they'd scare you, and they'd run through these gates. And I had them little hideaway hut, and they could come out by Cottonmouth Charlie's, and they'd fly over a bridge, and they could scare you down there.
This place.
Watch for snakes around the, around the base of the trees right now. The water's high. They might be laying up in here, but nothing. And this right here was a Peachtree Saloon. Had the Peachtree Saloon and the Hussey Hut back here. You can see the high waters and the global warming has come up on this in the last 18 years. And this was the Boy Scout hut here. And that's the Boy Scout we know of. We come through, this was a desolate part of the path right here, and we had a this was the Ghost Trail. I used to have a bicycle rigged up. Oh, it's still here, back there on that tree. And I had some matting going back there, and I had someone set back there in a little hut that's rotted down. And I had this big hippity-hop ball with a big sheet on it, and they pedaled this bicycle, and it went up to this pulley all the way up in this tree, and it was a big sheet hanging down. So when the people got right here, it was a signal from that hut to here. They would ring a bell, knowing that there was a group of people coming, and the ghost would come out of nowhere. You can see there was black plastic, and we have black light on the back of this tree. There's the old receptacle right there. But it was all lit up with black light. You know, it'd go woo, and flying across this tree. There's the old receptacle right there. But it was all lit up with black light. You know, it'd go woo, and flying across. Had creepy music all in the woods. Everywhere there's a hut or a scene, I had speakers all out here in the swamp, all back here, and it was all kinds of creepy Halloween stuff. And over here on the left-hand side, this was the land of the lost. It was all fluorescent painted up, and I had a little picket fence and stuff up here, and I had all kinds of Tonka toys and dinosaurs and little boats and rafts with all kinds of scenes out here for the kids. It was pretty spooky looking, but it's called Land of the Lost right there. This stuff we're walking on, this is the ruins of the original Cottonmouth Charlie hut. It rotted down with a bridge. It used to come through here, and then I created another island. I matted my way through the swamps with a little small mini excavator, and I worked back here for months, and people thought I was crazy. But I opened the gates, and I grossed over $47,000 playing through the woods with all the people that came back here. And they got to ride a ride truck, and once upon a time it was a haunted house on the other side, and all of that stuff. Once you step on this bridge, it's pretty sturdy. But this is all built salt treated. That's just regular old pine and cypress stuff over here, or spruce. That's what rotted up on it. This was that auxiliary path I was talking about. The boogans come through. There's my old post hole diggers I was worried about somebody taking with the steel handles in it. Well, then this was a flyover bridge, and I had a bar back here, and I used to have dances and stuff like that, and we had a stripper pole right here, and this wasn't for Halloween for the kids, but pretty wild time back here. When somebody called the cops on you, they didn't know how to get here. They could follow the power lines to find us. They could hear the noise and see the smoke. They didn't know where we were. This over here was this was a big pub. It was the Digger's Deli and all that. You see, we built everything. That's kind of tar paper shack out of pallets and tin. And there's another building on through the woods over there. Actually, that's the deli. This is the hussy hut over here. And you come around the little island. I built these little islands in here. So we have a place. We used to have a fire burning over here on the corner of it.
Oh my God, me and Ken's are taking a picture at Digger's Mansion.
Oh, baby. Tough and rough.
Oh shit.
This is Cottonmouth Charlie's trading post here. And there has been everything in the book traded through this little place back here. Hey, anybody home? This place was full. The diner wasn't here then, and I used to fill I lived in that house. We would park people out there. I had 4 people parking. We would fill all of that front yard up where the diner is, where the RC track is, where the test field is.
We gotta build this in your swamp.
Yeah, well, I had guys, and you used
Go
to
to
start up
jail.
here.
I know.
The woods were bigger, and I had more woods before I had all these shops. I didn't have these 2 other shops. So you would start from Digger's Dungeon, come down, and I had this big spooky black tunnel built. And actually, my animal pens, you used to come through them.
Really?
You'd walk right through the pig pen and be pigs in there with you, you know.
Oh my God.
And then you come through all of this, and you come down, and you come around this trail, and you go out, and then you get on the ride truck, and it carries you over to the haunted house. And haunted house, it was a big throwdown between Grim Reaper and Chainsaw Massacre. Grim Reaper, of course, was the hero, so he would beat him up. But we had a guy on a cable dolly, like a zip line, with a chainsaw, coming down, pyro, all of that stuff. So it's a pretty big production for us back then. We got the the best outdoor haunted forest in the Tidewater area. And we're just on the outbounds of that, you know. But wasn't that many haunted forest stuff back then.
I don't think
They were
I never seen one as good as this.
Yeah, well, and that's what we want to do is we really want to fire it back up. And Adam, Ryan was a little baby, and Adam, the boys wouldn't come back here. They hated, they cried. They wouldn't even come back here to see me when I was working. Like, Mama called and go, "You coming out of the woods today?" I said, "Hey, bring them back here, man. Those freaking wimps, get their ass back." They wouldn't even come back here during the day when I was building stuff. Because I would scare them. I'd be around the corners going,
As soon as you see him coming.
yeah.
You really wouldn't get in trouble for opening this back up and putting dirt in here and shit?
No, oh yeah, I've been putting more dirt in here.
We'd go to jail if we'd done this to our swamp.
Tore it down. It was built kind of like a billboard in the beginning, and it it was just tall, and it was like a 3-story, and it was a stage front deal. But behind it, it was about maybe 10 foot wide, and we kept all of our sound system, and people worked out of the back of it with all the pyro and all that, so it felt like the Wizard of Oz, back there. But see, when I had the other old Cottonmouth Charlie's place, I had a bridge that came from there, came across to an island right here, then it went that way, and this old bell was hooked to another tree, and I had it rigged up so that when people come through, we kept these groups of 12 people, and I had a guide And every scene that I had back here had a skit to it. You know what I mean? So when you come, it was like, crash that moonshine, y'all better go and get on out of here. Don't go back there. All that mess, And they come around here to Cottonmouth Charlie's, and he's trying to sell them stuff. We always had oysters cooking on the grill, or, tuna, or because it's kind of fishing season then, So we had stuff being cooked here over in the Deli. It smelled good in the woods and had fire and smoke going everywhere. But we had it rigged up in the Cottonmouth Charlie's house. It used to be up on pylons right here. It was really tall. And I always had my cousin, because he talks a lot like me, and he got that, you smoke little cigars and drink a little whiskey, like, yeah, man, just right, you know what I mean? He was a good Cottonmouth Charlie, but we had had cables rigged up on the bicycle rims. So it had a gate that had to open up, and this had all this, had all these pound nets, like flounder nets, and it all hovered over top of the bridge. You had to open a gate. The guides had to ring a bell for Cottonmouth Charlie to open the bridge. Then I had a dinosaur rigged up with this big head on it with a sound system. So as you raise the head up, you had to raise the head up, and the people walk by the bridge, and his head would pop up beside it, like a big Loch Ness monster. And I had lights glowing in its mouth with a speaker in its head. And you had to push this intercom system, this cheesy shit that I had, and whoa! It's like Roy was like, God damn, dude, you got all this shit back here running, wearing my ass out. Got to open this bridge and open this and holler in the mic and all that stuff.
How many people did you have to have working out here every night?
We had 30. I had 36 people out here working. That was our pole right there. We had a big girl.
Pole.
Yep. We had old
Emily.
We had old big girl 210 get up there and take her down. No, actually, this stage, we built this thing, and I had this huge party back here, and it was fresh. And you see the 2x4s, we drove them with a sledgehammer down for little pilings. Mm-hmm. And this thing was so shoulder to shoulder. I had the town center light lit up, the red light. And the stripper pole was here. We had jungle juice and a bar and kegs at every place. I had this huge Halloween party. And we had a little over 2,000 people. It'd be like what the mud bog was yesterday. So many people were on the property, in the woods, everywhere. It was just, it turned into a freaking nightmare after midnight. But they were out here on the stage, and they were all boogieing. We were getting down. I had a huge sound system back here, and the whole stage, it didn't collapse. It started sinking. It just went, and I was watching it on that pole. Those two chairs right there, I had my older cousins I hadn't seen in like 10 years. So I said, I got a VIP here. So they were right here, and they're older than me. They were sitting in those chairs. And David was looking over here going, damn, Dennis, he says, is this thing shaking that bad, or is it going down? Because his chair started leaning. I said, hell no, the fucking stage is going down. So we had to stop the music and run half the people off the stage.
And you were dressed like a pirate?
Yes, I was like a pirate.
You told me.
All the little dinosaurs, and I just paint them with all this neon paint. Mm-hmm. And I had black lights, little black lights down on the back of these trees. And when you come through, you go, what the crap? I had the fighting guys, and I made all kinds of little spears and stuff, and I'd have them stuck in the dinosaurs' necks with blood coming down. We just got stupid back there. It was like me and 6 of my tight buddies. We came back here and down this place. This was a cool little place. This was a lot of stuff. This is really cool here. It's an old pumpkin. Oh,
that's awesome.
Cool. Well, it would go up like this, and it would close down. See the pulleys and stuff, and it would go up because that was a private trail for us in our party we were having. You had to be special VIP to get in that area, and I had it guarded at the other end. So if you were in with the clan here, then your ass got to come down here, and I had a guy sitting in a shed right there manning this freaking manning that deal right there. So if you had the right equipment, you came in. If you didn't, you kept your ass out.
I love all the cords running out here stapled to the trees.
Yeah, the outlets on the trees above water.
See, part of the steel, I actually had just see the copper wound up over there, and that was another burn deal. And I had it so that it was smoking, and dripping, and I had barrels of corn around. And I swear to God, over here, the damn, that we had this huge coon that would come every night during our Halloween thing, and he would hang out right here because we were feeding him. We had scallops and bacon back here, so they had strips of bacon, and they called me on the radio. I was working in Digger's Deli on the other side, and they said, "Dennis, you got to come over here. Is this your coon or what?" I said, "No, I don't have a coon." They said, "Man, I swear to God, he's up here and they're feeding him out of his hand." I said, "No way." So I come back over because I used to trap him in here all the time, and I came over here, and he got so used to him because we were out here for like 9 nights in a row. And he started coming back like night number 3. He came up, and that's when they were feeding him. And his ass came back every time. And he was a ginormous coon. And he would stand up on his back legs, take bacon. They were feeding him all kinds of stuff. And it was pretty cool. And especially when people were coming through, they
He's
were
an
like,
employee.
"Wow, look at that." And I was like, "Damn, y'all need to catch him and put him on a chain so we can have him for next year."
Well, you just keep feeding him bacon
Yeah.
and scallops, he'll be back.
But guys would be sitting on this right here with a 12-gauge shotgun. And we were shooting like live ammo in it to start with. And then these guys got drinking. So then I'd hear it spatter all through the woods over there by me. So I have to call on radio and go, "Look, guys, don't be shooting that thing. If you're going to shoot it, you have to get in the woods and shoot back up that way." So that we shooting back up that way, and it would even spray over. And you would hear, the barn was the dressing room. And you would hear it scatter over the dressing room. So then we all decided that's a little dangerous. You know, they were out here partying probably while they were doing it. So we switched it over, and we got some blanks, 12 gauge for steering geese away.
Oh, why wasn't I born 30 years ago?
Yeah, down here.
That concludes our tour here at the Digger Complex, Anderson's Barnyard, and the Deep Woods Haunted Trail. We had a blast.